tales untold. Yasuke walked with iron pride through Japan's storms. His strength would collide. Oda called, stand by my side. Through battles fierce, their fates align. Taka Tenjin, a fortress steeped in fear. Guns roared loud, the end was near. Yasuke, Yasuke, shadows fall to his tribe. In the land of the rising sun he'll fight. Steel and fire, hearts collide. Unbreakable soul, he can't hide. He can't hide. Yasuke, Yasuke, shadows fall to his side. In the land of the rising sun he fight. Steel and fire, hearts collide. Unbreakable soul, he can't hide. Armored skies with thunder's might.
Well, that was arduous. I'm currently living on a mountain and I have decided to do an anamorphic star time-lapse since light pollution here is non-existent, which is a basic prerequisite for any decent astrophotography work. Needless to say, you should avoid full moon nights, since the moon completely destroys the starry sky. With long exposures, it almost acts like a sun. This time-lapse was shot on a Sony FX3 with a Blazar anamorphic 1.5 33mm using a DJI RS4 Pro gimbal, with time-lapse interval settings being controlled by the gimbal itself. For longer time-lapses, I just bring my Ugreen PB770 150 Wh power bank, plug in both the camera and the gimbal, and it can go on for hours. I do want to note a problem I've had with DJI while filming this piece. When using the cable to connect the camera to the gimbal, after around 66 photos, time-lapse flat out stops and I get buffer full notification on the camera, which goes on infinitely until I physically unplug the camera from the gimbal. This is an obvious bug in the firmware, since I always leave 3 to 5 seconds extra for the photo to be saved before taking the next one. So let's say if the exposure is 15 to 20 seconds, I leave 3 seconds or 4 seconds on top for saving the photo, so the camera buffer should not be used at all. I got over this issue by simply connecting the camera to the gimbal via Bluetooth, and it worked perfectly with the same settings. And yes, I have the latest firmware installed. Each of these shots took me from 60 to 75 minutes up to 2 to 3 hours. So the main thing with this kind of project is patience. I threw away at least 7 hours of work due to aforementioned DJI bug. I was sitting in my car, the camera was flashing, so I had no idea it was stuck. So please learn from my mistakes and try to be proactive while waiting. Check up on the camera every 15 minutes at least. It is kinda scary being miles away in the wilderness, waiting for hours in the dark for the camera to do its thing. But more often than not, wild animals tend to avoid any human interaction. We've come across a few foxes, hares, squirrels, but nothing too big. No bears, no wolves. There was an odd happening though. While deep in the pitch black forest, we heard some rustling. At first we wrote it off as usual critter noises, but soon we realized it was coming straight at us. Scared shitless, we did the only thing we could. Started running straight at it while shouting and blasting our lights. Whatever it was, it turned back and disappeared into the void. Praise Jesus. For tracking the Milky Way and other constellations, I've used Stellarium. It's a great app, free, and it helps you visualize your camera movement. Saved me a lot of trial and error. Developing RAWs from the camera was done in Darktable. I'm really fed up with subscriptions, hence I steered clear from Adobe. Might even buy one-time payment Capture One, even though it's a bit expensive. It seems like a very good replacement for Lightroom and Adobe Bridge. Back to the settings. I exported these with minimal editing to OpenEXR 16-bit DWAA compression and did color correction in DaVinci Resolve. This had to be done because you cannot simply drag and drop proprietary raw photo files in DaVinci. You can do so with DNGs though. Alternative to my approach is Adobe DNG Converter. It's free and it does the same thing. Just be wary of compression options, it often fails when you introduce any of these. Looking back at it now, I do admit that this project could have been even better with a motorized slider thrown into the mix, but I really wanted to travel as light as possible. Gimbal and camera were more than enough to haul around. And I really hope that I don't get hired to do this kind of project anytime soon. It's really exhausting.